Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Looks like we'll get 2 videos in today. This is going to be the this is going to be the January-February 1938 turn of World in Flames Collector's Edition Days of Decision 3 Combined Game Playthrough number 2. As you can see, the situation in China is pretty much the same as it was at the beginning of last turn. Not a whole lot has changed. The weather is really terrible. The last impulse of the last turn, the weather was blizzard, 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 storm, storm, rain, and I rolled a 12, a modified 12. So that was pretty much the end of everything there. And yeah, okay, so let's go check out starting money for the major powers. Okay, starting money is going to look something like this. We have Germany at 7, Japan at -2, Italy at -4, the Soviet Union at -1, the Commonwealth at 0, France at 0, USA at -5, China at -5. So we got a lot of major powers in the minus right now. Plus we have, the ongoing war in Asia, so that's definitely taking money down over there. But that being said, this January-February turn, there's a lot of major powers that are eligible for a gear up. There's Germany, the Soviet Union, the Commonwealth, France are all eligible for gear ups. Yeah, the U.S. is not until 1939, but we got 4 that are eligible for gear ups. So we got guy that did the bids. Let's take a look at what the bids are for the major powers. We got the Commonwealth bidding 1. We got Germany bidding 4, but they're going to try for 2 options. We got the USSR bidding 1 and France bidding 1. So let's take a look at how that's going to shake out on the political initiative track. Go over and check it out here. There we go. Okay. We got, remember the last turn we had a bunch of major powers that didn't get a chance to play a political option, so they got bonus bid points. We got the Commonwealth bid 1. She's going to get a +3 for her position, and she's one of the ones that didn't get to play a political option last turn, so she's going to get a +3 bonus bid points for her political effectiveness. That's a total of 7. That's going to give her first place. The Germans bid 4. They get +3 for their position, which is 7, and they get 5 bonus bid points because they also did not get to play a political option. So that's a total of 12. However, divided by 2, it comes out to be a 6. The Soviet Union also gets bid 1. They get 2 for their current political position. That's 3. And they get 4 -1 for the London Naval Treaty, which is 3. Bonus bid points for a total of 6. So that's tie with Germany. The tie is broken by the political effectiveness. The Germans are first, so they'll go second. The Soviets will go third. And the last bidding major power is France. They get 1 for their political for their current position, so they'll be 4th. So the last card goes on the Commonwealth. The last card goes on France. Non-bidding major powers, we have the Italians at +4. That'll put them in 5th. We have the Japanese at +2. That'll put them in 6th. The US is +1. That'll put them in 7th. And China, as usual, is last in 8th. Okay, the Commonwealth is first. Not that this is going to be a surprise, but let's go see what they're going to do. Okay, it's time for the Commonwealth to activate a miner after they successfully completed their gear up. Their production multiple went from 1/4 to 1/2, so they will see a significant increase in production. They've looked around, and I think they're going to activate Mexico. I think we can get some good mileage out of that. Let me grab the markers. Bring them over here. We got a 2 for the Commonwealth, a 3 for the Japanese, and a -1 for the Soviets. I should have dug it out. I didn't. I think it's right here. There's the Mexican marker. Now, the -1 Soviet marker is going to do nothing, so we're just going to toss that aside. The Japanese marker, marker is way over here in the paternal monarchy faction of the fascist ideology. So 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So either of these two hexes moves it closer to Japan. So as a Commonwealth, I think what we want to do is move it to this hex. That uses 2 of the 3. The remaining points not enough to move the marker. Now we'll activate the Commonwealth marker. Commonwealth is down here. That's going to move the marker this way. So the Commonwealth is actually kind of pretty happy with that. I don't think they're hostile to. They're only hostile to the U.S. So that's actually not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Last thing the Commonwealth does, roll a die, see if we end the political phase. Roll a 5. That does not end the political phase. We move down to the Germans. Let's go see what they're going to do. Okay, so I have increased Germany's production multiple 1 level. That brings her up to 3/4. Paid the 10 money, so it is expensive. I've also put out all the minor country influence markers and recorded the U.S. entry, which is a +9. Now, it's Germany's turn to activate a miner, and I think she's got her eye on Finland. Let's go take a look at the Finnish markers. Yeah, we're going to do Finland. Got a +4 German and a -4 Soviet. This should move the marker pretty good, I think. Finland's not on top. That's Greece. +4. The 1 Commonwealth is not going to do anything. Oops. Alright, there's the Finnish marker right on the top. I think we'll start with the the 1 Commonwealth, does nothing. We got -4 Soviet. That's going to move the marker. The Soviet's over here. It's going to move the marker directly across this way. Move it to there. Then we got 4 German to expend. 2, 4. That'll put her in the same hex as Romania and Chile. Okay, on the border of the fascist ideology. Germany's kind of happy about that. Alright, last thing the Germans do is roll a die to see if they end the political phase. Not with a 9. Not with a 9. Alright. Let's see what Germany's going to do next. Okay, come back over here. Here's the German booklet. I got to turn the page. Germany is going to do German option number 7. The Austrian Anschluss. Prerequisites: Germany can only play this option if Italy has not played her option 7. She hasn't. And Germany's PM is 3/4 or higher. It is. And Germany's initiative position is less than every major power allied to Austria And the only major power allied to Austria is Italy. So, and Italy is 5 and Germany is 2. So that's good. Austria is not at war or civil war or conquered or any of that stuff. So I will pay the full money for this. The U.S. entry is another 3. I'll put out the minor country influence markers, and then I'll come right back with activating a minor. Alright, now Germany gets to activate a minor. I've looked around, and I think what Germany wants to do is clean out the -1 in Sweden. It's going to move the marker a little bit because of the -2 for Commonwealth, but that's okay. Germany will be okay with that. Alright, let's see. There's the Swedish marker right on the edge of the fascist ideology. I have a -1 Soviet, a -2 Commonwealth, and a -1 German. So the -1s don't do anything. They just get tossed aside. The -2 Commonwealth. Commonwealth is over this way, so it's going to basically move the marker down 1 row. And that's the end of that. Alright, now we'll roll Germany to see if she's going to end the political phase. There have been 1, 2 previous political options played, and 8. 8 doesn't do it. So that will move the marker down to the Soviets. And I'm pretty sure I know what the Soviets are going to do. Let's go check it out. Okay. One to the Soviets. The Soviets, I was going to have them gear up, but unfortunately, I messed up, and the Soviets are at -2 right now, and their credit limit is 10, so they don't actually have enough money to gear up. So, instead of gearing up, I think what they're going to do is do increased bid points. So at the very least, they will get enough bid points so they will be able to gear up next turn. And that is their option. Where are you? Option 0G. Increase bid points. This one right here. So we'll give them an additional 6 bid points for next turn. They don't get to activate a minor on that. The only thing they do get to do is to roll a die to see if they end the political phase. And they end the political phase with a 1. So that's going to be it for the political phase. The French will get bonus bid points for next turn because they didn't get a chance to play a political option. And I will come right back with, I'm going to roll weather and initiative, and I'll come right back with, I'll roll initiative first, then weather. But I'll come right back with showing reinforcements. Okay, I rolled initiative, came out with the Democrats winning, followed by the Soviets, and then the fascists. The Democrats decided that they were going to go first, regardless, because of the situation in China. They did this because there was a 1 in 10 chance there would be fair weather in the North Temperate Zone, and that could be disastrous for the Chinese at this point. So they took the chance. Didn't matter anyways, because the weather roll was an 8 modified to a 10, which is blizzard in Arctic and North Temperate, snow in the Mediterranean, fair in North Monsoon, storm in South Monsoon, and rain in South Temperate. So it hardly mattered as far as that went. There really isn't going to be any action on the maps as far as I can see. The Japanese don't have access to North Monsoon where it's fair weather yet. So unless they decide to do some amphibious thing, which I really doubt at this point, let's go take a look at reinforcements. Alright. That light glare out of there. Alright. This is now the January, February. I got to move the year marker. I didn't move the year marker. 1938. Yeah. All right, for reinforcements, we got a Japanese militia, a Japanese cav unit division. We have a Japanese combat carrier airplane. I think that's going to go in the reserve pool for now. Put that down there. We have a German HQ, von Bock. We have a, whoa, we got Mao back for the Chinese. That's very fortunate for them. We also have a Japanese convoy point, a Commonwealth convoy point. Got a big battleship for the Commonwealth going in the construction pool. We have a German aircraft carrier, the Graf Zeppelin, going on map. We also have a pilot. I don't think we have any combat air groups for the Germans. Nope. So, but we do have a pilot, so I will go on the track for now. So I will get these reinforcements on the map, and I will start running through the turn. And if we get to a point where I can actually do something in China, that the weather isn't so terrible, then I will break at that point and start filming again, especially if there are any attacks or anything. But I don't think it's really worth it, you just sitting there watching me move a couple units here and there. So I will be back shortly, either way, with either that or production. Okay, so the turn ended on the 16th impulse, which was a communist impulse, so nothing moved in the ideology and the ideological initiative modifiers. The weather was really pretty bad. It wasn't the worst, but it was pretty bad. There'll be a +2 to March-April's weather roll, and the partisan roll was nothing. The U.S. entry roll for Japan, Japan rolled a 1, which is modified to a 0, which is a -1 for the turn. You got to remember the Peking Bridge incident gives Japan a -1 to her die rolls. Okay, so I did production. Production changed a little bit. So starting with Germany, Germany produced 13. They started with 3 because they were 10 in the hole, and they spent 1. They're laying down a heavy cruiser. Japan produced 7. They started with 5 and they spent 6. They are building a combat air group, a pilot, a warlord, and they're finishing the Regio, whatever it is. Italy produced 4, started with 0, spent 0. USSR produced 3, started with 1, spent 0. Stalin wants his gear up. Not messing around anymore. Commonwealth produced 11, so their production increased. They started at 0 because they were at -11, and they spent 5. They are building 4 combat air groups for no cost. They are laying down, I think this is a transport, and 3 cruisers. France produced 3, started with 2, they spent 0. USA started at -5, they produced 3, they started at -2, they spent 0. China produced 2, started at -3, and they also spent 0. So this turn is really, as far as production goes, is a turn in which the major powers are trying to dig themselves out of the hole. All except the Commonwealth, which likes to spend a lot. Okay, so I'm going to get these on the circle, and I think we're just going to roll right into March-April from here. Okay, let's take a look at starting money for the major powers for March-April 1938. We have Germany at 2, Japan at -1, Italy at 0, the USSR at 1, the Commonwealth at -5, France at 2, the USA at -2, and China at -3. So the monetary situation is looking better than it did 2 or 3 turns ago when a lot of the major powers were really deficit spending. So I have recorded the bids for the major powers. I want political options this turn, so let's take a look at those. I don't mess it up too bad. All right. We have the USSR is bidding 1, France is bidding 1, and Germany is bidding 1 as well. Let's go take a look at the political The ideology display. Okay, right here. I like it. This is good. Right there. All right. Okay, so we have the Soviet Union bidding 1. They get a +6 because they opted for bonus bid points because they couldn't afford to do their gear up last turn. However, it's at a 4, but they have a -1 for the London Naval Treaty. So that's a net 3, so double 3 is 6. So they get 6 for that, and they get 3 for their position. That's a total of 10. Stalin thought about maybe doing 2, but nope, you don't have the money for it. The French bid 1. They get +3 for bonus bid points for not being able to do a political option last turn. That gives them 4, and +2 for their current position is a total of 6. That will put them in second. The Germans bid 1. They get 3 for their current position. That's 4. They're going to be third. And last card will go on the Soviets, and the last card will go on the Germans. The non-bidding major powers, we have the Commonwealth with a +4. That's going to be 4th. We have the Italians with a +5. And 5th with a +2. That's going to be 5th. They're going to keep their position. Japan and the U.S. are both tied at +1. The U.S. political effectiveness is a 2, -1 for the London Naval Treaty is a 1. And Japan's is a 4. So Japan will break that tie. And, of course, guess who's in 8th? China. All right. Let's go take a look and see what the Soviet Union wants to do. Okay, I have recorded the U.S. entry, and the Soviets have done their gear up. I'll show you right there. There's a lot of minor country effects, which I put out. And the cost was 10 money, so it definitely wasn't cheap. And I think they're going to activate, they get to activate a minor. I think they're going to go with Bulgaria. You got a -3 German and a +4 Soviet there. So we might be able to get some good mileage out of that for the Soviets. All right, over the status display. 4 Soviet, 1 Italian. One of these days I'll put these on the top before I start filming these. Oh, they will. All right. Here's Bulgaria, right in the middle of the status display. I think what we'll do is, well, the Italian's not going to do anything, so we're just going to put that aside. I think what we'll do is we'll activate the German -3 first. So that's going to move the marker this way. The 1 point for the Germans is gone, not enough to move it again, and then we'll activate the 4 Soviet. That's going to move the marker right here to the edge of the communist ideology. Yeah, Stalin's kind of liking that idea. Okay, well, the last thing the Soviets do is roll a die to see if they end the political phase. A 6 is not ending the political phase. The French are up. I'm pretty sure you're going to know what they're going to be doing. Go back over here. Grab the paperwork. And the French are going to do their gear up as well. Right there. Their cost is 8 money. However, they have a bigger credit limit than the Soviets do. That's what the Soviets' problem was. Current year is greater than or equal to the year specified on the PM track. Well, 38 is the year specified on the PM track. So the French will be able to gear up. There's a whole bunch of minor effects here. U.S. entry is a +8. And I will come right back with the French activating a minor. Okay, we're at the point where it is the turn of the French to activate a minor. And I think who they're going to activate is Belgium. Get a -2 for the Germans and a -2 for the French. Doesn't sound like a very good idea, but we'll see what happens. Put it out here. We have -2 for the French, -2 for the Germans. There we go. So the Belgian marker is here. The fascist Germans are over here. The fascist ideology. Okay. So the French are going to activate the French -2. So that's going to move the marker away from France. France is here. We'll move it to probably to this hex. So to get to this hex, it's going to cost 2. 1 to cross the boundary is 3. And an additional 1 to move away from a major power which can control the minor within that major power's ideology. So it's going to cost 4 to go there. So the -2 French is basically gone. Now we'll do the -2 German. That's basically going to drive Belgium into either this hex or this hex. So it's going to cost 2 for the hex. It's going to put them right there. And the French are kind of happy with it. I think this is only the second time the French have activated the minor this entire game. I think so. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they had one activation before and that was it. Alright, last thing the French do, roll a die, see if they end the political phase. A 6. See that? There we go. A 6 does not end the political phase, so we will move on to the Germans. Oh, those Germans probably got something up their sleeve. Alright, let's see. What is Germany going to do? Germany is on a tear right now. She is going to demand the Sudetenland. The French were busy doing their gear up, so they were distracted. And the Germans feel that the time is right, and they're going to demand the Sudetenland. Prerequisite, Germany may only play this option if her production multiple is 3/4 or higher. It is, and Czechoslovakia is not in civil war conquered, at war with a line by a major power. None of those are in effect right now. The Commonwealth is not bidding, so CW6 and the French have already gone, so French 8 is not played successfully this turn. The Sudetenland becomes part of the German home country. And the Sudetenland is, let me show you. If we can see it. Okay, get these political markers out of the way a little bit. It's this row of this hexes right here on the border of Czechoslovakia. Does include a resource, so the Germans will have another resource to use. So the Sudetenland will be part of the German home country now. I will put out the minor country markers to record the U.S. entry, which is the +3. I guess the U.S. really don't care too much, and then I'll be back with Germany activating a minor. Okay, Germany gets to activate a minor, and I think she's going to activate our old friend Sweden. I'm going to clear out that -1 German. We'll come over to the status display. This is not going to take long. There's Sweden. We got -2 Soviet, -1 French, -1 German. The ones do nothing. The -2 Soviet would move the marker this way into the fascist ideology, but it's going to cost 2 for the hex and 1 to cross a boundary. So that's 3, so that's actually going to do nothing either. And that is the end of the political phase. I have rolled initiative, and I have rolled the weather. Initiative came out as a 779. The fascists have a +2, the Democrats have a -1. So that means the fascists won the initiative against the Democrats. And they decided to go before the Democrats. Well, the communists decided they can go last. So it really doesn't matter what they do over there. I think they're pretty much set with the communist Chinese. So the weather roll was an astounding 9, which was modified to an 11. Which is fair weather everywhere. The impulse marker will be moving up 1 per set of impulses. And there's no modifier to the next turn's weather, next set of impulses weather roll. Alright, let's go take a look at reinforcements. Here is the March-April wedge of the reinforcement track. Alright, we have a German pilot and a French pilot. We have a French single-engine fighter. That's probably going to go on the map. We have a German single-engine fighter. It's not very good, but I'm probably going to put it on the map anyways. Now, the 2 units from the Anschluss are right here, the Infantry Corps and the Mountain Corps. German reinforcements. We have 6 convoy points for the United States. That's a big chunk. We have a Chinese infantry army going on map. A convoy point for the Italians. We have some ships. So what we got here? Goes over there. We have the Tirpitz going on map for the Germans. We have the Laterio going on map for the Italians. And we have the Tennessee going on map for the US. So I have to do some London Naval Treaty adjustments. I will get these on the map, and then we will start with the first impulse for the fascists. Okay, here we are, impulse 1. Japan's going. Now, so the Japanese, because they're in a limited war, can only conduct 1 attack per turn. Now, they don't have a lot of troops on the mainland as of right now. So, they did manage to extricate both their marine units, and they're thinking about conducting an amphibious assault right here. Now, why do that? Because that flanks this river system that the Chinese have set up here. That's all behind rivers, except even that hex is behind a river, and they're pretty strong. They're got 7 there, which is the equivalent of 14. Whoops. We got 7 here, which is again the equivalent of 14. -1 for attacking a factory hex. 6 here, which is the equivalent of 12, and only got 1 hex on it. So, that being said, I think they're going to go for it. They're going to try to outflank the river line that the Chinese have. So, port attacks, naval air missions, naval movement. They're gonna send this fleet out here to the 3 box. I think they all make it to the 3 box. Right there. And the 2 marine units, DoDIII. Marine units. See, they're both in the 2 box. No, they're both in the 3 box. Okay, so there's the 2 marine units. One of them's half because it's attacking from a transport rather than an amphibious unit. So the 4-4 will be halved. We got 8, we got 6 points of shore bombardment, that's 14. The notional unit there is 1 point. It is defending in a home country hex, which adds 1, and it is in the zone of control of friendly units, which adds another 1. So that's 3. So we got 14 to 3, which is a 4 to 1. I still get 1 more. The Japanese still get 1 more land move if they want to. I don't. Oh yeah, we definitely want to put him here. And nope. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Nope. We're gonna move this guy here. Or yeah, we're gonna move Zumo here. There. Okay, so that's the 3 land moves. 4 to 1. Pretty big attack. Pretty big attack. Let's see here. I'm trying to charge my device, so I will roll the dice right here. Oh, that's a disaster. That's a disaster. 4 to 1 plus 1. Oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, it is that bad. Okay, that's a 2-1. 2 Japanese units die. That means both these Marine units are killed. That is bad for Japan. That's 10 points of production for the Japanese. That hurts. That hurts big time. Well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this turn for the Japanese. I don't think I can take bombarding ships as losses. I almost like to take one. Combat losses. Alright, I'm going to check something real quick. Alright, that's it for the fascist turn. We'll move on to the Democrats. The Democrats want to, I think they're going to rail this guy. Actually, show bombardment, rail movement. Rail movement is before land movement. So we're going to rail him to here. Now land movement, I don't think we have any land movement. I think that's about it there. The Democrats don't have anything to do in France this turn. And the English, I don't think they're doing much of anything. I think that's it. We'll move on to the communists. The communists got some stuff going on up here, and I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but they're doing something. They're going to move down to here. And they're going to rail 1 unit. They're taking a combined action, as usual. Rail 1 unit out to here. And that's the end of the communists. So the communists moved a few units into the Far East. We're back to the Democrats. I mean the fascists. Fascist roll weather. There's been a disaster in China this turn for the fascists. They rolled a 2, which I believe is not very good weather. March, April, 2. Oh, blizzard, snow, storm, rain, storm, storm. Okay. I'm going to pause the video and run through the turn, because if the weather just stays this bad, there's no sense in having you watch me just sit here and go, their turn, this turn, that turn, that turn. If the weather does clear up and I think the Japanese can get an attack in, then I'll stop and we'll proceed from there. Okay, the turn ended on the 15th impulse. Ended, I believe, on the communist turn. No, it ended on the democracies. Didn't matter because the communists are in the highest box anyways. The weather was bad. There's a +1 to next turn's weather roll. Nothing much changed in China. A few units moved here and there. That's about it. Forgot to flip that unit back over. There we go. And I rolled for partisans. There's no partisans. U.S. entry was a +1 for Japan. I rolled a 7, which modifies to a 6, which gives Japan a +1. And production looks like something like this. So Germany produced 13, started with 11, and spent 12. They pulled the Blucher out of the construction pool, a submarine out of the construction pool, built a combat air group, pulled a submarine out of the cups, and is building a headquarters, an armored headquarters, which I believe is Rundstadt. Alright, and the Japanese spent 8. They're building a marine unit. Funny about that, isn't that? It's 5. 2 for 1 for a convoy point and 2 for a pilot. So they produced 7, started with 6, and they spent 8. The Italians, I just said the Italians. Yeah, the Italians pulled a battleship out of the cups, and are building an infantry corps. That's it. They produced 4, started with 4, spent 5. The Soviet Union produced 7, so their production went up more than doubled. They are starting with -3, and they produced 0. The Commonwealth produced 10. Their production doubled due to the gear up. They started with 5 and they spent 6. Convoy point, pilot, 1, 2, 3 cruisers. Some of these cruisers are 0 cost for the second round because these all came out of the construction pool. Pulled a carrier out of the cups and building a CAG. The USA produced 3. Started with 0 because they lend-leased 1 build point to China. You can see the convoy point up here. They managed to stretch a line all the way back to the US and get a build point to the Burma Road, which is right up here, and thence to Kunming, so the Chinese can use that build point. The Chinese, they produced 2, got 1 lend-lease, which comes out to be 3. They started with 0 and they spent 2. They're building an infantry division. I will get these on the circle, and I will get this turn uploaded shortly. And probably the next turn I'll do probably will be in about a week or so. But hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. I appreciate all that stuff. And see you next time.